Hallo iedereen, we gaan live nu met een geweldige live pitch over how to close in een klas. Dat gaat Allyse voor ons doen. Allyse Sedivy. We zijn in een huis op een prachtige locatie en met een aantal mensen in mijn downline mochten we veel van hun leren en ze gaat nu vertellen hoe we dit gaan doen. So, the floor is yours.
Hey. Hi everybody. It's great to see you. I'm hoping to meet a lot of you very soon. And first of all, I want to just quickly tell you, I hear that convention is coming up really soon. It's in May, right?
Yes.
Convention is the most important event to go to the entire year. So make all necessary sacrifices. I know that every time I come to convention and I think to myself, oh, I wish this person were here and this person were here and this person were here. Not only is it great for brand new people, but it's also great for leaders, even if you're diamonds, blue diamonds, presidential diamonds. I know that every time I go to convention, it teaches me something. It helps me to have more faith in what I'm doing in the oils and in the business. And not only that, it helps my team to come together, to understand the mission of doTERRA, and to be more focused as we go out into the field. So make sure that you make convention a really big priority. So I'm here with some wonderful friends that I just met in the Netherlands. Maybe you can turn around and show everybody here. Say hi, everybody. Hi. Hey. We also have one Swiss person here too.
Where's Didier? Yeah, there
you go. So we're going to actually do a really quick training today. Hopefully it will just be 15-20 minutes long. And Frank asked me to do the training on how to close. Now there's a lot of different ways you can close and a lot of different closing situations. For instance, there's how to close business builders. There's how to close people getting into just using the product. I wanted to actually talk about how to close at the end of a class. So you might have a one-on-one. You might have just a meeting that you have with friends. This is specifically for how to close with the class. And how to close other places changes a little bit. So I'm going to give you just the end. I'm assuming that you've seen what a class looks like, that you've done classes before. If you haven't, I'm sure you can reach up to your upline and they'll be really happy to tell you how to teach a class. But I'm going to go actually towards the end of a class. And a few things I actually want you to write down. Some things in the class I think don't really matter how they're taught. Like for instance, the tear sheet that you use. It doesn't really matter what tear sheet you have. I've seen hundreds of diamonds use all different kinds of tear sheets and it seems to work for all of them. So I don't think specifically what tear sheet you use matters. I'm going to just use this one. It's in English and I have it upstairs. Also, it really doesn't matter what environment you're in. For instance, if you're at a home, if you're at a business meeting, if you're, let's say you're at a coffee shop, right? The same exact close will take place. And I'm going to give you at certain parts to actually pause it for about 30 seconds so you can get a piece of paper and a pencil and you can write things down. If you don't have a piece of paper and a pencil right now, go run, take about 20 seconds, okay, and go get something to write down with so that you don't forget. So I'm going to give about 20 seconds for my husband to say hi. He hasn't said hi to you yet.
Hey everyone, it's great to be here, and you know what, you guys are very, very lucky to have Frank as your upline and your support. We've gotten to know him over the last couple days and we're really, really grateful for that. So I think that's 20 seconds, baby.
Okay, so as we're working through the class, right, our class handout, most of you should talk about the 3 cool things about oils, right? That they're safe, that they're effective, that they're inexpensive. That always, always should be a part of your class. If it's not a part of your class or it's not a part of your presentation, then I think you probably need to change that. That's super important. And then of course the 3 ways that you use the oils, which are topically, internally, and aromatically. And then when you get to the part of the presentation where you talk about individual oils, right? That's the next section where you're going to talk about different oils. We can do it with having actually displays. We can do it with calling up people and giving testimonials. There's a lot of ways that we talk about this. After you're done with this part of the presentation, the next part of the presentation is basically talking about how to purchase them. After we explain how they work, after we talk about all the cool different products, then we talk about how to purchase them, right? This is when most people choke up. This is when they have a problem and they start getting really fidgety or they start getting really nervous and they don't know what to say. So it's really important that you have a really good transition from speaking about the oils, which I think everyone loves and everyone knows how to do and everyone's very familiar with, to actually talking about how to purchase the oils. So the first thing I'm going to have you write down is I'm going to actually have you write the transition sentence. I've noticed that if you have just memorized just 2 or 3 very specific sentences, you're going to have a lot better experience and you won't get as nervous. So this is a sentence that I want you to remember and write down as you're listening to this. And it goes like this. After you've done talking with the oils, you specifically say, there are 3 ways to purchase the oils. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. It's very simple. There are 3 ways to purchase the oils. Nobody in the room today is going to purchase them retail. Now, Patrick, why would I say that? Why would I say nobody in the room is going to purchase them retail?
Because you want to set it up that you're trying to help them buy it at a better price than at retail. Retail is the worst way to buy something.
Right. Because I've heard a lot of people say in classes, do you have a lot of people that just want to purchase just a single oil? And that never happens to me. And I've taught probably thousands of classes, right? Maybe not thousands, but maybe 1,000. And the reason why is how I set it up. So I say, there are 3 ways to purchase the oils. First, retail. Nobody in the room today is going to purchase retail. That's the most expensive way to purchase the oils. The only time you should ever purchase retail is when you're walking into a spa and they're selling you oils, going into a chiropractic's office, right? Or some professional like that. That's the only way that we should ever buy retail. The second way to purchase your oils is wholesale. Wholesale is a wonderful way to purchase the oils. You can actually get a wholesale account where forever you can purchase them at a reduced price. The third way, and this is the way that I purchase my oils, is below wholesale. Below wholesale. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you that one more time. That is the transition sentence, right? And there's many ways that you can go about this after that sentence, but that's one really, really key phrase. And so we're going to start again, okay? So here it goes. There are 3 ways to purchase the oils. First is retail. No one in the room today is going to purchase retail. The only time you should ever purchase retail is when you walk into a spa or a chiropractic's office or a professional that is selling the oils. The second is wholesale. It's a great way to purchase the oils because you receive a wholesale discount forever, anytime you want to purchase them. The third way, and the smartest way, this is the way that I purchase my oils, is below wholesale. And we're going to tell you how to do that today. So, Patrick, I'm going to pick on you again. Maybe you should actually kind of sit up here because I'm going to pick on you the whole time. So, Patrick, why is it really important that we talk about 3 ways that you purchase the oils?
Everybody likes options. If people feel like, okay, this is the only way you're going to do something, people feel like they have to, and nobody likes that. So people always like to have options.
Yeah.
When you go to a gumball machine, you have 3 options.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to do that I never skip is I tell them the way that I purchase the oils. Because obviously I know the business well enough and they're going to assume that I know the best way and the most affordable way to purchase the oils. So I tell them at the very end, this is the way that I purchase the oils and the most affordable way to purchase the oils. So that's the first piece of your close. If you don't have that piece in, it's hard to transition to the other pieces. Now is the time that you can talk about the kits. You can talk about specific kits. Some people like to talk about the diamond kit first and then work their way down to the what do you call it? Is it family physician?
Family physician kit.
Is that what you call it?
Family home kit, yeah.
Family home kit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Physician kit, we get home essential now.
So the family physician kit is the lowest. So some people like to go from the diamond kit down to the family physician kit. Some people like to start with talking about the family physician kit and work their way up. It doesn't seem to matter which way that you work, but just 2 things I'm going to caution you to do or suggest you to do is number 1, you're wanting to give, people don't really know what to do when they're purchasing oils. They don't know the best thing. So whatever you tell them is the best, most people will buy that, whatever it is, right? If there were no family physician kit and no home essentials kit, everyone would buy what's best, and you'd say, you know, the natural solutions kit. So I'm going to tell you how I talk about the kits, and you can tweak this. It's not as important as that transition sentence, okay? But I talk about it like this. So let's start with the basic kit. The basic kit is a wonderful kit. It's a great way to start. It's called the Family Physician Kit. It has all of the most important, maybe it hits maybe 75–80% of the ailments that you'll have in your home, and it's a great way to start, right? It's the Family Physician Kit right here. The second kit has the exact same oils in it, but you'll notice that this kit has 3 times the oil, 15 mils instead of 5 mils. It comes with a diffuser, but it is not 3 times the price. So if you're interested in starting with the basic oils, this is absolutely the best value out of the 2. So if you're value-minded, this would be the one I would choose. Does that make sense? What are you telling your customer, right? If you're value-minded, and almost everyone wants to be value-minded, right? Right here, this is the kit that I really push hard, right? And this is the kit that I usually sell because it's the one that I push hard. Let me tell you what I say. This kit I really like. In fact, this is the most popular kit and the kit that I really like people to go home with, because not only does it have some of the most popular oils, but it has a sampling of every single part of what doTERRA offers. For instance, cleaning, supplementation, cleansing, home products. It also has the most popular oils. If you can get this one, if this one fits into your budget, this is a wonderful kit for you to start with, and a kit that I really, really like people to begin their journey with essential oils. That is the Natural Solutions Kit. The next kit over here, and I usually don't talk about the athletes kit, the aromatherapy kit. I talk about those when I know that someone is really specific. If they're super athlete, I might bring that up. If they're an aromatherapist or really into emotions and hormones, I might bring up the aromatherapy kit. I actually jump to the Every Oil kit, and I say, the Every Oil kit is exactly what it's called. The reason why it's called Every Oil, it has every oil that the company offers. It's a phenomenal way. I have this kit. In fact, I have every oil in my home, and it's a phenomenal way to know that every time you have something that goes on in your home, you have an ailment, you have something that happens, you have everything at your fingertips. This kit, for a mother, gives me confidence. It's awesome. And if this is a kit that you can afford, this is actually the most effective and cheapest way to buy your oils, because you get the biggest discounts in this kit. And it's wonderful. The next kit is a diamond kit. Now this kit is for someone that wants to build this business and wants to share the oils. It's great for sampling. It's great for having all the oils in your family, but you also get a chance to try every single item that the company has available. And you know that if you can't try it yourself, it's very hard for you to speak to it, and it's very hard to promote products. So I really love this kit for business builders, right? So that's the way that I talk about the kits. People can do a lot of different things when it comes to LRP, when it comes to talking about the kits. You can talk about different savings, but I will tell you this. I think that after a class, at the end of a class, if you give too much information, it's overwhelming. In fact, people are just like, oh my goodness, the more information you give, I think the more overwhelming it is. So you need to know what your goal is going into the class. And our goal always must be educate them about the oils, have them get started with the kit, right? Those are our 2 most important goals. Educate them with the oils, have them get started with the kit. I don't talk about LRP when I'm there. I don't. I simply just tell them, I'd simply say, so if you're going to purchase one of these kits, you actually get for free a wholesale count. And it's the best way to purchase oils. When you purchase them in a kit, they come discounted, and you have a wholesale count that comes for free. If you only buy a couple of oils, you have to pay for your wholesale count. So let's for sure get you started with a kit when you start. That's the best way to do it. And then, like I told you before, I buy below wholesale. Below wholesale is a program called Loyalty Rewards. Loyalty Rewards gives you lots of free product back, lots of different credits and different ways to earn money and earn product. But this is not what I'm going to talk about tonight. I'm going to actually come to your house with your wellness consult and go over all of that, because I know you have a lot to go over, right? So I After you do that, now why would I do that? Why would I not talk about LRP? It's really hard for people. In fact, I found that if you try and talk about LRP in this class, people end up feeling very pushed. They're like, oh my goodness, you want me to buy a kit and you want me to commit to a monthly order, and they kind of get a feeling like, I just feel pushed, I don't feel comfortable with this, and you don't want to feel pushed either, right? You want to feel very comfortable, very natural, and I think the best place to bring up LRP and explain all of LRP is when their mind is fresh, when they have their oils, and when you go to their home, or you Facebook Live them, or you do something over the phone, right, and give them a wellness consult. If you don't know how to do a wellness consult, if you're not doing wellness consults in your business, you probably have really low retention. And your retention rate is due to the fact that you have not explained and helped them get on loyalty rewards. So every single month you have to do the same classes and come up with the same volume to fill your volume. This is hard, it's taxing, and you get burnt out really quickly. So maybe another time we could do a wellness consult. We could talk about a wellness consult. So, is this clear? Do you guys understand this? So can anyone come up here and tell me, if you've only heard it twice, can anyone come up here and tell me that sentence, that transition sentence? Any of you, do you think you have it down? Come on, anybody? Frank, what about you? You're a mighty leader. Can you try?
I'm reading the comments and questions, but
Turn it to your face so they can see you.
So, anybody here who wants to do the sentence? I know I was asked, but as you know, I'm a good leader, and I always give my downline a chance to speak. Anybody before I say something? I have to think about it.
So how about this, Frank? Can I say it one more time?
Yeah, one more time. Yeah.
That?
and I think we have 20 viewers, so 18 viewers. Everybody should say it with us. Let's
Okay.
go.
So here we go. So basically, no, just one person, because then it will be so many voices and it will echo. I guess I'm telling you what to do today. This is not common for you, huh?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so after we've talked about the 3 cool things about oils and the 3 ways that we use oils, and we go over all the different oils, right? We're going to have a transition sentence. So we can talk about the kits. That transition sentence sounds like this. There are 3 ways that you purchase the oils. The first way is retail. Nobody in the room is going to purchase retail. The only time you should purchase retail is when you walk into a spa or a chiropractic's office or somewhere professional that's selling the oils. The second way is wholesale. It's a wonderful way of buying the oils. You get a discount anytime you buy the oils forever. So it's a great way of purchasing the oils. The third way, the best way to purchase the oils, this is the way that I purchase my oils, is below wholesale. And I'm going to tell you about that also. Do you want to try it, Frank?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it.
So.
Do you want to hold it for him?
Okay, I see. There are 3 ways to purchase the oils. And the most expensive way is the wholesale way. Of course, we're not going to do
retail.
Excuse me, the retail way. We're not going to do the retail way, because the retail way is going into a spa or buying it retail at a counter. You don't want to do that. It's very expensive. The next way is the wholesale way, which is a little cheaper, but in fact not the cheapest way you can buy the oils for. There's another way, and I'm going to tell you about that, what that way is.
And that's the way that you purchase them, right?
And that's the way I purchase them, and it's the cheapest way by far.
Awesome.
How did
You did good.
You have to tell me twice, but...
Okay, well, because guess what? The next transition we're going to go into is the transition of how to talk about the business in a class. So you got this one over, so you don't have to do that transition. Somebody else gets to do this transition, okay? So after, everyone's kind of walking out of the room right now. Oh no! Okay, so after we've talked about the products a little bit and how to purchase them, right? Then we're going to transition into how to talk about the business. Now let's go over this really quickly. I think a lot of people are really afraid to talk about the business. In fact, many of the countries that I build in, Korea, Malaysia, China, here in the US, some people altogether skip this. This is a mistake. Let me tell you why. Even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm going to teach you a way to just do it a quick 2 minutes, right, at the very end. So imagine I have a lot of people in my home, and we're doing presentations all day. And I tell them, well, everyone go into the kitchen And we have ice cream in the kitchen. It's the only time I'm going to give you ice cream, so if you're interested in ice cream, go get your ice cream. Everyone stands up. They go into the kitchen. They get their vanilla ice cream. Their vanilla ice cream is in this bowl, and they're eating their vanilla ice cream. They come and sit back, and I'm standing in the front of the room with this big bowl of strawberry, chocolate, Rocky Road, the awesome ice cream, caramel, and I'm eating it in front of them, and I'm like, how do you guys like your chocolate and caramel ice cream? And they're like, what do you mean, chocolate and caramel? We just have vanilla. That was the only thing that was offered us was vanilla. And I said, well, didn't you check in the freezer? There's caramel, there's chocolate, there's everything in the freezer. You could have gotten it out of the freezer. And they say, no, of course we didn't check in the freezer. You just gave us vanilla. That's all we got offered. And what I'm here to tell you is this is how you do your businesses, most of you. If you never offer them the chance to do this as a business, and you never tell them that there's another way that you can use oils and make money from oils, then what you're really saying is, I'm going to give you vanilla ice cream, and you have to search and find out for yourself that chocolate or caramel ice cream exists. And how many people really do that? How many people would go into my kitchen, open my freezer, and look to see if I have any other offering of ice cream for them? Very few. So I remember I had this lady, I love her, she's a Blue Diamond going presidential. Her name is Judy Cruden. And Judy Cruden came to me. She was the grand prize winner of one of doTERRA's incentive trips. We were going on a cruise, and she was the grand prize winner. And I remember we were sitting on this cruise ship, and she walked up to me, and she said something really interesting. She said, Allyse, if something doesn't change, I'm quitting doTERRA in 6 months, and I'm going back to my other business, which was accounting. She had an accounting firm. And I'm like, Judy, you're the grand prize winner of the incentive trip. You've signed up more people in the entire company than anyone else. How in the world could you feel this way? And this is what she said. She said, I have lots of users. I have lots of people that want to use the product. I have no builders. I'm doing this all on my own. And how many of you feel that way? Many of you feel that way, right? And I asked her this question. I said, Judy, how often do you talk about the business in your classes? And she said, never. And I said, and you're surprised? You're surprised that you have no builders? You never talk about the business. You never open the door. You never even give it as an opportunity. So we actually talked, and she came up with a 2-minute quick, because she didn't want to spend a lot of time on the business, because that wasn't her personality, and it's not doTERRA culture, right? So she came up with a 2-minute, maybe even shorter than that, maybe a 1-minute intro from talking about these kids into the business, right? It was so good that I think a year later, maybe I ran into her, and I kept in contact with her, but about a year and a half later, she walked up to me, and she said, Allyse, you know my biggest problem in the business right now? I have too many leaders, I don't know how to help them all. I said, Judy, what changed? And she said, 2 minutes. All I did was change 2 minutes in my presentation, and everything changed. So this is not my tip. This is actually Judy Cruden's tip of what she did. And I liked it so much that I used it in every class I did. So it's been years that I've been using it. So I'm going to give you her tip. Is that good?
Sure.
Okay. So it looks like this. You've just presented, you're talking about the kids right here. And now you're going to talk about the 3 people that come to classes. If you don't have this on your tear sheets that you use, it's okay. You can actually put the tear sheet down and just discuss it. And you simply say, some of you guys need to listen to this, because one of you has to say this, okay? After I say it. There are 3 types of people that come to this class. The first type of person loves natural things. They love to live naturally. They want to learn about the product. They want to share it with their family. They want their family to live naturally, right? doTERRA loves this type. In fact, we have a program that helps you and sets you up to be experts at the oils and know everything about natural medicine and essential oils. The second type of person that comes to this class has been thinking to themselves during the class, oh, my mom needs that, or my sister so needs this product. And in your mind are a few people that you really want to share this information with. So the second type of person wants to share naturally. Once somebody understands the value of essential oils and to live naturally, they want to share naturally. If you're the type of person that wants to share with others, right, it's wonderful because doTERRA actually compensates people that share. And if you share consistently, you'll get to the point where that product that you share with others, you'll receive compensation, payment from doTERRA that ends up paying for all your oils. And some people, more than that. This is what we call free healthcare. You share naturally with different people and you have free healthcare. You can pay for all the oils that you want every single month. Many, many, many people in doTERRA have free healthcare. And they love to do this and they share with people, right? The third type of person that comes to this class is the person that looks at me and says to themselves, that's what I want to do. I want to teach other people about the power of essential oils. I want to educate other people about the power of essential oils. If you are the second or the third type of person that wants to educate other people and not only change people's health, but completely change your residual income and become financially free like I have, please come up and talk to me at the end of this class if you'd like to share or if you'd like to educate, right? And we'll help you get started. Does that make sense, Frank? Mm-hmm. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's not offensive. And that's the transition sentence. How many of you think you could do that? Turn the thing around. Does that seem easy to you? Yeah. How many of you right now talk about the business during your presentations? Mm-hmm. Very little?
Now and then.
Now and then. What about you? You talk about it. So this is a really quick 2-minute just intro, and you're basically inviting people that are that second and third type of person to come and talk to you. Now you'll see at the end when I actually go and close someone, right? At the very end, I bring up that, so are you number 1, number 2, or number 3? So they have to put themselves into a category. Now most people, what do you think they put themselves into? Number 1 category, right? I want to learn about the oils, right? Isn't that most of the people that come to your class? Some people right then will say, I don't know, for sure I'm number 1, but there's a few people that I really want to talk to them about because I think they'd love it. And then occasionally, maybe 10 or 15% of the time, you have somebody that says, I want to do what you do. I want to educate. I can totally see myself doing that. Does that make sense? Okay, so does anyone feel comfortable giving that? Are you guys all nervous to give that? You want to try? Okay, come on up. Woohoo! Give her a hand. Okay, so there are 3 ways, right? Okay. Well, the 3 ways we use this, we can buy the essential oils at doTERRA. First one is as a user, second one is a sharer, and the third one as a... Okay, I'm going to stop you because I messed you up actually. The transition sentences, there are 3 people that come in. There are 3 types of people that come to this class, right? Okay, yeah. Yep.
And the third one, yeah, I know the Dutch term.
Sit down. I'll say it one more time. What's the third? Okay, I'll say it one more time because he got 2 times, and then you can try it. Here we go. Ready? This is the transition piece right here. There are 3 types of people that come to this class. The first type of person that comes to this class, right, wants to live naturally. They want to learn about the oils, they want to use the oils, and they want to help their family live naturally. The second type of person that comes to this class have been thinking during the class, my mother would love this, or my sister would love this, or I really should share this with my friend, it would change her life. Those type of people like to share the product, right? And doTERRA compensates people that share the product. And in time, when they share for a while, they actually get compensated to the point where it pays for all of their oils. We call this free healthcare. Many, many people have free healthcare in doTERRA. The third type of person that comes to this class is the person that looks at me presenting and says to themselves, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to educate people about the power of essential oils and teach people about how they can change their life with essential oils. This type of person can not only change people's health, but they can also supplement their income or become financially free like I have. So if you are the second type of person that would love to share or the third type of person that would love to educate others, please come and talk to me after this class. Do you got it? Should we try?
What's the third word again?
There are 3 types of people that come to this class.
There are 3 kinds of people who come to this class. First one, the ones who want to use the oils. And doTERRA loves those people because that's the most essential thing they're working on. And we have beautiful programs to show you how to work with them and to educate you more in that. The second kind of person who comes to this class are the persons who like to share it. They're the ones who are in the class and think, hey, oh, my sister would love this. Oh, that's excellent for my neighbor or my friend on the other side of the street, or the child, which, well, those kind of people. And we have a beautiful program for that, because doTERRA actually compensates for your sharing, and you get the extra bonus for them, and that's what. And with this bonus, you can get free products. So that's what we call a free healthcare, which is a wonderful program, and it enables you to work with your health and become independent in that sense. The third kind of person, those are the people who think, hey, I can do that. What she can do, I can do. And for those kind of persons, we have a special program as well, which enables you to become independent. And if you're one of those people who would like to either share or build like this, or present like this with others, then that's the thing to do. Come to me after class and I'll tell you more about it.
Good job! She did great! Okay, so far we've talked about one transition piece, right? Where we talked about 3 ways to purchase the oils. Then we talked about 3 types of people that come to the class. Now what we're going to talk about is, how do we get somebody signed up? How do we get somebody actually write out their form and say, I want to purchase, okay? Now, this is really important. And let me have, do you want to come and sit down? I'm going to have you come and sit. Here we go. You're going to sit right here. Now, one of the things that you need to remember that you need to do is sometime during the presentation, we have it here. I don't know if you guys have this on yours, and you can even write it on the back, but sometime during the presentation, I like to do it either before or after we talk about all the oils. I ask people if there were 3 things that you could overcome with your health or your family's health, what would they be? 3 things that would change your life. And then I actually tell them my 3 things before I started doTERRA. Because I've noticed that they don't write anything unless I tell my experience. And I say, I have a disease called restless leg syndrome, where my legs jump constantly all night long. And it wakes me up during the night, and I never got good sleep. So I first wrote down, gosh, if I could get rid of my restless leg syndrome, that would be wonderful. The second thing is, my husband has a really bad back. He played hockey growing up, and he ruined his back. And by the time he was 35 and we had all these little kids, he couldn't even bend over and tie his shoes. I bought him shoes that were slip-ons. He couldn't hold our kids, and he couldn't mow the lawn, or so he said. So that was an American joke. Didn't go over well. So that's the second thing, is my husband's back pain. The third thing is my little girl and her stress and depression. And I thought to myself, if I could change those 3 things, this would change my life. Now, what are the 3 things that you would like to change, whether it's energy or weight or skin issues, digestive problems, anything? I'm going to give you just about 30 seconds to write those down. Do that sometime during your class, okay? I wouldn't do it at the very beginning. Do it after you've at least told them how oils work, to give them, faith about the oils. But then we're going to refer back to that, okay? Now, at the end of class, after you've told them about how they can learn and share and build, right? You want to then give your most powerful personal experience that you have. Most powerful personal experience. Now, for me, I'm not going to share this with you because I think I've already gone over time. But if you don't have a really powerful personal experience, you can borrow one from your upline. You can borrow one from people that are in your organization. But it doesn't have to be life-changing. It's just something that means the most to you. After you give that personal experience, this is what you say. So, this is the funnest part of the class. We have some books. And whichever book that you use, if you use the Essential Life book, I love the Essential Life book, but if you have the Modern Essentials book, right, you're going to bring these books to class. And if you have the small ones, those work too. If you can't have books, you can even use little A to Z guides. But something that they have to look up information. There's 2 reasons why we do this. And there's a really good reason why we do it at the end. We're going to buy ourselves some time. At the very end of the class, how do you get everyone signed up without people having to wait for a long time? And then you start getting stressed and people are waiting around. How long does someone wait before they leave? Not more than about 10 minutes, right? So what I do is I say, what I want you to do is I want you to take this book, and I explain to them how to use it. I explain that they go and they look up their ailment, and we'll show them how they use it and what oils to use. And I say, what I want you to do is come and grab a book and go to the section where you wrote down the 3 things that you want to change. And I'm going to teach you how to use this book, and everyone can spend the next 10 or 15 minutes in the books. They love this, right? But the reason why I'm doing this right now is why? I don't have time to talk to everyone individually, okay? I don't have time. So I pass out the books, everyone starts looking in the books. Some people actually use them for half an hour. They don't want to leave the books. They love the books, right? And then me, and if I have another person there, they've already been prepped, and we individually go around. And so I say this, it goes like this. So what we're going to do now is the most important part of the class. This is the part you're going to love. I want you all to turn to the section where you wrote down the 3 things that would change your life the most if you could overcome these in your health goals. And I'm going to give you these books that you can look up that information. I'm going to show you how to look up that information. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around to you individually, and we're going to find the kit that's best for you, that fits your needs the best. That's what you do. So you pass out the books, right? And then the next thing you do is you actually go up to this person. How uncomfortable is it for you if I'm looking over your shoulder, right? Super uncomfortable. Yeah. We never do that, right? I do something totally different. It doesn't matter where I am. I do this all the time. I actually get on my knees at their level, right? And now I never say, so what do you think? This is uncomfortable, right? Or, so you're going to buy something, right? This is also uncomfortable. I simply say, what are we working on? You guys need to write that down. This is a super important transition phase. What are we working on? What does that mean to you when I say, what are we working on?
Gives me the opportunity to say where.
Yeah. So
what's bothering me?
Yeah, we're going to talk about these things, right? What are we working on right here? And it means that I'm on your side. We're a team, not just like, what's your problem, you know? So I actually, let's say, give me an ailment that you're working on. Just throw something out.
Headache.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn to the page of the book where we're going to go to H. You're teaching them at the same time how to use the book in the future when you get home. So they don't have to call you for every single ailment, right? So all you need to do is just go, it's alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We're going to go to H and look up headache, okay? Right here. So, past tense, lavender, peppermint, wintergreen, and frankincense. Now, I'm going to choose for her 3, okay? 3 of these things. I'm going to choose 2 that are in the basic kit. Why? Because I want to give her some options in that basic kit. And then I'm going to choose 1 that might not be in the basic kit. Does that make sense? Which gives her an option to get a larger kit that would fit those needs, right? So then she's going to write down on her piece of paper, lavender, peppermint, and past tense, okay? So then I say, okay, great, lavender, peppermint, past tense. This is how they want you to put it on topically. This is great. What is the second thing you're working on?
Pain in the back.
So pain. Let's go to back pain. Do you guys get this process? We go to back pain. We find out the oils, and then she writes down deep blue, wintergreen, frankincense, whatever, okay? After we've gone through these type of things, I'm going to turn to the page where they have these kits. And I'm going to say, my goal for you is to make sure that you get the kit that you want and need, okay? So sometimes the kit you want is different than the kit you need. And sometimes the kit you need is different than the kit you want, right? So for your ailments that we're talking about, most of them fall in this category of here. You won't have all of them. You'd have to get a Natural Solutions kit to hit them all, right? The Natural Solutions kit gives you a lot more variety of things. The Home Essentials kit, which is a better economic value than the Family Physician kit, gives you that diffuser because they're telling you that you want to use some of it aromatically. Tell me which of these 2 kits feels more comfortable.
I think the Natural Solution kit.
Okay, so this is the next sentence that you're going to say. This is what we're going to do. It's simple. This is what we're going to do. Now I want to remind you that this is not pushy. When you go to a doctor and you have an ailment and you tell him everything that goes on with you, does he look at you and say, all right, I have these medications. Is that okay? Like, can you afford these medications? Are we okay with that medication? Or do you want to wait for a little while or think about it? Does he say that to you ever?
No.
No. What does he say to you? This is what you're going to take. You're going to take him here, and you're going to take him at this time, and this is when you're going to start. Here's a prescription, and go pick him up, right? These people have the same ailments, right? They're coming to you, and you're an expert in their eyes, and you're definitely know more than they do about essential oils. So I do the same thing. I simply say, this is what we're going to do. Right here, we're going to just put there the natural solutions kit. So we're going to X that off, right? Right here, do you remember I was telling you a little bit about buying below wholesale? I'm not going to let you out of this because this is the very best way to purchase, but I'm going to tell you a little bit later because we've gone over so much today, okay? So we're going to talk about that. So then right here, this information right here, this is for a wholesale account. So you can purchase it over and over again, just like other wholesale things. Having a wholesale account, actually, you don't have to, but it actually gives you the option to sell it to other people. But you don't have to. But a wholesale account, that's what it is. So by law, we need some information here for you to fill out, okay? Then you just sign it, put your information, and you're good to go. We don't spend a lot of time there. We just talk it through, and this is where we spend the time. Once you've decided to become a wellness advocate, okay, and you buy a kit, there's a lot of cool things that happen. This is just the beginning, not the end. The first thing is you now receive from me what's called a wellness consult. It's awesome. So you get your oils, and I know that you've learned a lot tonight, but guess what? You're going to forget some things. And you're going to get your oils and think, how do I do this again? And because you're investing in this, I want to invest in you. You're investing in your health, and I want to invest in you. So I'm actually going to come to your house, and if you can't do it, we could do it online, but it's better in person. And I'm going to, once you get your oils, I'm going to sit down with you, and I'm going to show you everything you can do with what you purchased. And I'm also going to put a plan for you and your family together, a morning, an afternoon, and an evening plan. So you know how to use essential oils in your daily life. And you'll find that it's not just these 3 ailments that you'll take care of. You'll take care of so many more with your kit. That kit it'll help you with your immune system and your digestive system and your skin. I mean, it's phenomenal what essential oils can do. So I'm really excited for that.
Me too.
The next thing is when you've actually purchased and you become a wellness advocate, you now can get free education, continuing education. It's awesome. So you can come to classes, online or live classes that deal with pain. You can learn about hormones, how to control your hormones naturally, losing weight, which you don't need, but maybe this is something you want to know about, right? You can come to classes that are about the science of essential oils, so you know exactly how they're actually working in your body. It's fantastic. And at the end, you become basically an essential oils expert. That's something you also receive for free. So go ahead and fill this information out, and then I just need to write down a time. It's probably going to be after 5 days, because it's going to take you about 5 days to get your oils, that I can come to your house and give you your wellness consult. So what day works best for you, do you think, next week?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
What time?
At 7.
Great. I'm super excited for you.
Me
So
too.
go ahead and fill this out, and I'll come back and we'll get you all started. Is that right?
Thank you.
All right. Now, what do I do after I'm done with that? I go to the next person. They're still looking up stuff in their book. And I go to the next person. I come over here. What do? I get on my knees. I go to them, and what do I say? What are we working on? What are we working on? And so they show me the 3 things they're working on. Maybe they've already looked up 1 or 2, and you finish. This is what you and your partner, your upline, or the person that was with you should be doing. And you can get through 4 to 5 people in 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to ask you this question. What is the ideal size of a class? 5 to 7 people. We don't want more than 5 to 7 people if you and somebody else is there. Why? You can't help them individually. And what we want to do is teach them about the oils, go to the class for a wellness consult. What is our main goal for the wellness consult? Get them on LRP. And they're ready for it. Their head isn't spinning. They're excited about continuing education classes. And then is when you can ask them, so are you the first, second, or third type of person that came to that class? Right? If you ask them that night, so you want to build a business?
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming, right? So your goal is to get them signed up with a kit, get them excited about that wellness consult, right? Because you're going to give individual attention. When you go to that wellness consult, and there's a specific way you do the wellness consult, what is your goal? To get them on LRP and find out what type of person they are and how to lead them from there. If they are not interested in sharing your building, what do? You put them into the what? Continuing education program. If you don't have a continuing education program, you need to repent and do one now. This is how you keep people on LRP. Because the continuing education program is 8 classes over and over and over. And what do we talk about at the end of every single class? LRP. LRP, LRP, LRP. So when someone comes to the first continuing education class and we're talking about pain, and we're talking about wintergreen, they've never had wintergreen before, they're excited about wintergreen. We tell them at the end of this class, okay, everybody pull up in your phones, your back office, I'm going to teach you how to use your LRP. If you want to try wintergreen, I'm going to show you actually how to purchase it and put it on your LRP. You have them all stick it on their LRP, and maybe you talked about lifelong vitality at the same time, right? And you get them excited about that. If they come to 8 classes, how many things have they been exposed to? Many different things. Many different products, many different oils. By the end of 8 classes, they have fallen in love with at least 2 or 3 or 4 things they cannot live without. And that is your retention rate, and those are the people that will buy it for the rest of their lives. This is the way that we do classes, and that's the way that we continue. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions? Yeah? Any questions? On closing a class.
Any questions maybe from the watchers? We have 22 viewers right now. Anybody wants to ask, just type it in and we'll repeat it here, and Allyse is happy to answer. Yes? Okay, you think about it. Any questions from this group, guys?
Do you guys does it make sense?
Yeah.
If it's all clear, it's all clear.
Okay, I think it's all clear. Hey, good luck closing your classes. And then the one other thing I do want to talk about that I didn't talk about here is how to book a class off of a class. Okay? Because it's a lot easier to book a class when the excitement is going on and people are in the classroom setting. So when you're going around to individual people, right? Sometimes I do this before I start kneeling down. And I grab, do you have your keychain here? Yeah. Yeah, this is what I do. I actually take this, and I have a keychain with me, and I just start swinging it around my finger. I'm like, you know what this is? I want to show you what this is. It's the coolest thing. Have you ever wanted to be always prepared as a mother or a father for anything that could happen with your kids? Well, this is what it is. This goes on your keychain, so it's always with you, right? And you put the 8 oils in it that your family needs at all times. So for my family, in the car, a lot of my kids get sick, so there's Digestin, and there's Wild Orange, and there's lavender when they're upset, and there's of course On Guard when they're sick. And so I put my my favorite oils, headache, past tense, and this keychain is awesome. And I'm going to give you a chance to actually get one of these keychains. I've had people in classes that will say, I don't want to buy a kit, but I want one of those keychains. They want the keychain more than the kit. And I'm like, oh, no, you have to do something for the keychain. You have to purchase a kit to get the keychain. And not only that, if you enjoyed this class tonight, I would love to come, and I would love to do the same thing for the people that you love and care about, for your friends and family. So if any of you want to set up a class with me that I will actually come and present for you, you'll actually receive one of these keychains. Now, you're going to receive at first the keychain that's empty, and you'll get it tonight when you actually set up a specific date. You'll get an empty keychain tonight. And then at your class, let's say you have this many people come to a class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that came to a class. I'm actually going to fill up 7 of these with oils for you. So you'll have 7 filled up. If you have 5, you'll have 5 filled up. If you'll have 4, you'll have 4. So it's a really fun way to get you started with your keychain. So I do talk about booking classes off of classes. Does that make sense?
Yes. Allyse, there's a question that comes back. Maybe we can do one question from the group.
Yeah.
From the viewers, and that is what they hear a lot is that I'll thinking about it, I will be thinking about it, and I come back to you when you basically go through your consult. What's the best way to address this?
Well, that's an hour conversation.
Or people say, hey, I want to read it at home.
Yeah, that's an hour conversation, and Frank, that's something we just talked about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
The reason why that people come to classes and they're not prepared to buy is why.
Yeah.
Because they're not prepared, they're not prepped.
They have not been prepped correctly to come to the class. That is the biggest reason why. So maybe that's something that Frank, you can do
Yes,
a
I
class
can,
on.
I can do a live about it. I got a lot of information on how to prevent that.
How to prep before the class.
Yeah.
It's what you do before the class that helps more than anything else. These people that come to your class should have been sampled. They should have had a good experience, and they're already thinking, oh, I want some of this. They just don't know what they want.
Yes.
Those are the people that come to your class, and it's so much easier to close like that. So if that's happening a lot to you, where people are saying, well, I'll think about it, your problem is prepping.
Bad preparation.
You have bad preparation.
Final question from Dave Miller. Funniest
Hi,
thing.
Dave!
Funniest
Dave is
thing.
my front line. He's so awesome. I love you, Dave.
You want to kiss him? Okay. Hey, Dave. Okay, no more questions, Dave. That's it. Dave, the funniest thing, Dave is asking the funniest thing that ever happened to you while you were closing. I think that's a nice one to end with.
The funniest thing that ever happened to you when I was closing. This is like almost a 5-minute story. It's super funny. I think he knows this story.
I only have 2 or 3 more minutes bandwidth, then it's quit. So.
Okay. So the funniest thing that ever happened to me while I was closing. Okay, come sit down here so I can look at everybody else.
Yeah, sure.
So I had a class in a home, and these ladies were sitting on this big, long couch, and they had really long carpet. You know those long, shaggy carpet? Well, a kid walks in with his mother really, really late, and they're sitting on the couch, and during my presentation, the kid goes, and he just vomits everywhere, all over the carpet, all over the table, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So then, right next to this kid is a lady that's like 8 months pregnant, and she starts going, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? So I ran to the kitchen really fast. I grabbed a rag. It was not my house. So I grabbed a rag, and this is like chunky throw up. It's disgusting. So I'm like pulling all this chunks out of this long, shaggy carpet, right? And this pregnant lady's about ready to throw up herself, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I'm like scrubbing everything up, and I was in such a hurry that I just threw the rag in the sink, and I didn't wash my hands. So I went through the whole presentation. I did my closing. People signed up. The mom of the son for sure got digested, right? So people signed up, and I was on my way home. And I'm driving home. It's late. It's like 11 p.m. at night. And all of a sudden, there's a police officer. Pull me over to the side. And this lady says to me, excuse me, ma'am, you did not stop completely at the stop sign. You rolled through the stop sign. She's like, can I see your driver's license? Now, I had forgotten that I hadn't washed my hands. So I had peppermint on my hands, because I used peppermint for my presentation, and throw up. So I get out my driver's license, I hand it to her, and she goes, ma'am, you have been drinking. I said, no, I haven't been drinking at all. She's like, no, I smell alcohol. You have been drinking. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's throw up. It smells like vomit and peppermint, like a peppermint schnapps or something, right? And so she goes back to the police car, and she comes back up, and she goes, ma'am, and she was gonna make me like walk a straight line and everything, and I said, I promise, I haven't been drinking. So I grabbed my essential oils bag, I open up the bag, and I'm like, this is what I sell for a living. And she kind of looks at me like, I'm watching you, you know? So she gives me a ticket, and she drives off, right? So me and my husband have a deal. I get the tickets, he pays for the tickets. That's our deal. That's what we do, right? So I did my part. I got the ticket. He did not do his part. He never paid for the ticket. So 6 months later, on our door, comes knocking a police officer. Now, it is April Fool's Day, Sunday, April Fool's, right? And in America, my friends and my downline always play jokes on me. In fact, Dave plays jokes on me, Kirk Hamilton plays jokes on me. So my kids go running upstairs, and they come down, Mom, there's a police officer at our door. And me and Patrick look at each other, and we're like, oh, someone's totally trying to fool us for April Fool's. It's totally our downline. So I come upstairs with an attitude. I'm like, hello, Mr. Officer. Like that. And he's like standing at the door like this at the door. And I'm like, he's like, so you have a warrant out for your arrest. And I'm like, I'm sure I do. And he gets even madder. He's like, ma'am, you have a warrant out for your arrest, and I can take you down right now to the office, to the police station. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Do you know Kirk Hamilton? Do you know Dave Miller? And I'm trying to, it's April Fool's Day, right? And finally he says, you have a warrant for failure to yield. And I look at Patrick, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And Patrick goes, the stop sign. And I'm like, oh, he's totally serious. So I look up at him, I'm like, I really have a warrant for my arrest, don't I? And he's like, yes, you do. And you need $250 cash. And I'm like, I don't have $250 cash. You don't take a credit card, you don't take a check, you don't take anything. He's like, no, and if you don't have cash, you need to come down to the station with me. So I looked at him, I'm like, does it matter who goes to the station? And he's like, no. I'm like, then my husband's gonna go because he never paid the tickets. So Patrick took care of it. That's my funniest story for closing of that.
Thank you very much, guys. And thank you for being a great audience. Also, people online, thank you very much. We'll get back to you soon. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.